Good morning, my loves. Now you know why I haven't posted for a day or so. I have a cold. And yes, I feel just as rotten as I sound, to be honest. So, as we know, school is getting ready to start. And some kids are really excited and some are not. And I spoke with a family. I speak with them periodically, like every other month. And they have the sweetest little boy. He's just adorable. And he's in elementary school. And he's afraid of his new teacher. He's heard things. And if you think back, all of us have been there. You know, you've heard rumors about this teacher, and that's going to be your teacher. And you already don't like him. You already think you're already in trouble, and you haven't even met him yet. So, sorry. I reminded him, do you remember right before school let out for summer, Mom wanted me to help them figure out something to do. I love books. Growing up, I always had a book in my hand. I love to read. This child hates reading with a vengeance. And I said, but I want you to try 2 different books, okay? And Mom can help you if you need the help. They're old books, like back in my day books, you can still find them. I want you to actually go to a library, the public library, which is a magical place, and get 2 of these books and just read them with Mom and Dad. That's it. And begrudgingly, they agreed. Mom loved the idea because she remembered libraries when she was little. I think they're almost obsolete now because of computers. So I got a call last night, and it was kind of a pre-check-in, before school starting. And I asked, I said, so how has the reading been? And the mom started laughing, and I said, what? And she said, okay, tell her he's hooked on reading. I had him growing up, now this is back, my days are back in the 60s, and I was born in the 50s, so my days are the 60s and 70s. So growing up in the 60s, I loved the author, Beverly Cleary. She was wonderful. I have read all of her books when I was a little girl. So I had him get 2 books. One was Beverly Cleary, and the other one I'm not sure. I had him get Ralph and the Motorcycle, which is about a mouse and a little toy motorcycle. And I had him get Henry Huggins. Henry Huggins was a little boy that had a paper route. And in this, typical neighborhood, they're cute, they're innocent, they're sweet. I am so thankful they're still on the shelf. And he loved them. He is now hooked on reading. And he started telling me all about this mouse riding a motorcycle and all of the adventures. And it was hilarious. And then he couldn't wait to get started reading about Henry Huggins. And he told me everything I ever needed to know or didn't need to know about Henry Huggins and where he lived and what he did and his friends. I love that. I said, so you really like the books? He goes, we're going to the library every week. Love that. Good job, Mom and Dad. I am proud of you for that. I said, but you hated it. He goes, not anymore. I said, but what about your teacher? You already hate your teacher. What if it's just like the books? What if you find out it's the best teacher you have ever had in your entire life because you're relying on what other people say? Other people don't go to the library and get books, do they? No. So now he's changed his mind. He's going to give his teacher a chance. I said, but you got to give him at least a month because you're new to them too. You have to be fair. So give him a month and then let me know what you think. And he's going to be, I want to say 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. And we were talking about new things he's going to be learning in school, to kind of get him excited about it. And by the end of the conversation, he was really pumped about school. And he's going to give me a call after his first day. And then, they're going to check in every month for a while to make sure everything's going okay. But they had thought he had a reading comprehension problem. And that's why he didn't like books. He just wasn't excited about what he was reading. It was that easy. Because Mom started helping him with Ralph and the Motorcycle and Henry Huggins. And then she would find him in his bedroom reading by himself. And then he would come out and tell her everything that he read It's not a comprehension issue. He's a very smart young man. It's getting his interest and getting him to enjoy it. So sometimes you just have to think a little bit outside the box. And I know when I was little, I am not a math person. I am not a numbers person. I love history. I love English, writing, all of that, music. But I am just not a numbers cruncher. So to help me, my mom would either make sure we had pizza to do fractions or brownies or something like that that you could use for fractions, because a whole pizza is one. You know, you cut it in half and you have a half. That's a great way to teach your kids fractions. Make it into something that they can interpret, that makes sense to them. Some people learn by seeing, some by reading, some by doing. Figure out what works for your kid and make it work. You really have to think outside the box sometimes, but they're worth it. Seeing your child excited about school is amazing. My son loved going to school. He was in AP classes from 5th grade forward, and he was excited about it. I remember when he first got into AP classes in 5th grade, he was excited because he got to dissect, frogs and sharks, baby sharks, which was disgusting, but I could see the frogs, but a baby shark, to me, baby anything is off limits. But he was excited about it. And that kept him interested in school throughout his school career. Just finding a way to look forward to it, to make it exciting for your child. If any teachers are listening to this, please get the class excited about learning. Start the morning with something fun and exciting to get them powered up and eager to learn. I remember, this is throughout elementary school. Now, this is back in the day, but they would give us a piece of paper and there were maybe 25, 50. It started out with addition problems, and it would, 1 + 1 and 2 + 5 and on and on a sheet of paper. And we would have to do it, and it was really boring, but okay, fine, it's the basics. And then they started making it a contest. They would split the room in half to see which half, who got done first, and how, if you got them all right, and then that half would get an extra 5 or 10 minutes at recess. People got excited. And then it was an individual thing. People got excited because, you would get a special crayon, or not crayon, but a special marker or something to reward you for doing these right and doing them, in the best amount of time. Get the kids fired up. Get them excited. Never stop learning, ever. Learning is fun. It's challenging. It's all in how you look at it. And last thing, if a child is having trouble with chemistry, get them in the kitchen and get them baking. Baking is chemistry. Cooking is chemistry. Chocolate milk is chemistry. Making chocolate milk. If you use the syrup, that's an elixir. Or is it, I'm going to get this wrong, emulsion. If you use the powder, it's a mixture. Get them in the kitchen and get them excited about science, about math, about reading. Because these are things we're going to be using the rest of our lives. I still learn something new every day. Sometimes for the good, sometimes for the bad. But get them excited. And please, even if you weren't a good student, don't say, oh, we're not good in math. Tell them you're better than math than I ever was. Build them up. Don't plant negative seeds in their head. Or tell them, I love to read. I bet you love it just as much as I did. Let's share some books. But don't tell them, our family doesn't do math. Our family, we just aren't cut out for school. Don't tell them that. Last thing, I promise, because my voice is about to give out. Not every child is cut out for college. And I think we all know that. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with a child going to a VOTEC. Nothing wrong at all with them getting an apprenticeship. Plumbers, electricians, journeyman. There's a lot of professions that you can go to a trade school, a VOTEC, and sometimes just an apprenticeship. And they are jobs that we need. We need. Where in the world would we be without plumbers and electricians, without farmers? Let your child figure out what they want, what they don't want, and support that. And then always talk to them about plan B. If this doesn't work out, let's have plan B, just in case. That's a nursing thing. Because in a crisis, a nurse always has plan A. But if that fails, we're ready with plan B and plan C. Teach your kids to have a backup plan. It will make everybody's life a lot easier, I promise. Good luck with the new school year.